Okay, as we are progressing through our research paper progress, as of right now, we have already made a video for sources 3 and 4, audio and video sources. Secondly, we're going to make, we're going to find sources under featured content or viewpoints. So I'm going to go ahead and open up that page in our research paper resources folder. And we're going to be going to Gale like we've done 100 times before. And once we get there, I'm going to go to the database we've been using. And for me, my research topic that I've been modeling generally has been, oops, I didn't mean to pick world history. I meant to pick global issues. The choice has been greenhouse gases. So for me, if I go to the main page of greenhouse gases, there's two types of sources that I would like for you to consider. One of them is considered what is called featured content. In fact, if you look at featured content, they have what this database, the editors and compilers of this database believe as being like really interesting, specific, or out of the ordinary content about the topic. So like India says it will lower the rate of greenhouse gas emissions. That's one of the things that they said is featured content. Ontario, Canada's anticipated cap and trade regime off to a shaky start. So that's a newscast of something that's taking place right now. So those are all examples of featured content. And if you want to use anything that would be considered featured content, you treat it the exact same way that you had done prior to this. You're going to go ahead and go to it. Let's say greenhouse gas bookkeeping turned on its head. If I click on here, here's the article, and here's the information that's in it. And you would do the exact same thing to this as you've done to the other ones, and that is to copy and paste the MLA formatted citation. And as it turns out, too, I have digital note cards number 5 posted for you. And what you would do if this had been your source is you would actually copy the source and you would paste that information there. And you would give credit where credit is due by putting that inside of parentheses at the end of it. So there's also a different category of information that I would like for you to consider. So you don't have to do a featured content article if you don't want to, but you have to have a 5th article if you want to do it. Another type of resource, and I've hit the back button twice, besides featured content, also is what is called viewpoints. In this database, they have people that have written op-eds or experts that have taken a stance on the issue. And so what they do is they come up with opinions or examples and op-ed pieces in which they explain different parts of this topic or solutions and the like. So I'm going to go ahead and click on viewpoints. Now, granted, these are going to be argumentative and they're going to be a bit biased because they're labeled as viewpoints. They're labeled as opinion pieces. But I think that it's a good idea for you to read some people's opinion about this topic. So one of the ones that they have here is an op-ed piece that's from the New York Times called California Rules. And if I click on it, you can see that they did an entire article commentary and that it's pretty short, but they give an overview of the topic and they take a stance on the issue and they have it cited right here. So that's just an example of source number 5 or 6 that you could do. You could either do viewpoints or you could actively choose to do some of the other ones. So the last thing that I wanted to point out, I'm actually going to do 7 and 8 too. So sources 7 and 8 can, in addition to be a choice of either featured content or viewpoints, you can also choose then, if you scroll down to where it says news articles, you may go ahead and click on news articles that are relevant to this particular topic. And if you click on the news selection, you can see that there's thousands of news articles about greenhouse gases here. So for sources 5, 6, 7, and 8, you can use featured content. You can choose to use viewpoints from that selection. You can also use news articles. And I'm also going to go back here and point out too that notice that they said that they had reference articles right here. See this category called reference. You can choose to do reference articles. It doesn't matter which ones you choose, as long as you choose ones that, as you're reading, seem to be relevant about the topic that you've already informed yourself about. And reference articles are good examples of this. Every single one of these articles, whether it's a viewpoint, whether it's featured content, etc., they all have the same thing. Global environment treaties and issues could be something that you could read. Alternative and renewable energy. Let's just pick this one as for this sake. And once again, if you look at the article, even in references, every single one of them, if you go to the bottom, have the citation done in MLA format for you. All you have to do is make sure that when you're reading that article that you've copied and pasted that into your digital note cards, and that you give credit where credit is due by using the parenthetical citations. So that is your choice for 5, 6, 7, and 8, is you can use featured content, viewpoints, news articles, or continue to use reference sources that are found in this database. Thank you.